Are you ready? Are you ready to talk about how we can help the vulnerable members of society, our children, the elderly, and differently able? Are you interested in small business, education, job creation, and the environment? Then it sounds like you're ready. You're ready for Let's Talk Progress, a new uplifting show on Q95 every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hosted by United Progressive Party. Together for Progress.
Today I never give up before. It's not in my blood.
Are you ready? Are you ready to talk about how we can help the vulnerable members of society, our children, the elderly, and differently able? Are you interested in small business, education, job creation, and the environment? Then it sounds like you're ready. You're ready for Let's Talk Progress, a new uplifting show on Q95 every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hosted by United Progressive Party. Together for Progress.
Today I never give up before. It's not in my blood.
I love beauty. I love splendor. I'll do all so sweet and fair. Almost surely gazing in wonder at thy gifts so rich and rare. Rivers, valleys, hills, and mountains, all these gifts we do extol. Healthy land, so like all fountains, giving share the Lord's soul. Dominica, God has blessed thee with a clime benign and bright. Pastures green and flowers of beauty, filling all with pure delight, and a people strong and healthy, full of godly reverent fear. May we ever seek to praise thee for these gifts so rich and rare. Come ye forward, sons and daughters of this gem beyond compare. Strive for honor, sons and daughters, do the right, be firm, be fair. Toil with hearts and hands and voices, we must prosper. Sound the call in which everyone rejoices. For each and each one.
Our dear Heavenly Father, Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, we magnify your holy name and we lift you high above all things. You are worthy of all praise and honor and adoration, for you are the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the creator of heaven and earth. And we come before you today with grateful hearts, thanking you for this inaugural radio broadcast. We acknowledge you as the source of all wisdom and knowledge, and we praise you, Father, for opening up this door of communication to serve the people of Dominica. Lord, we thank you for this platform that will bring awareness and education to our nation. May it be a beacon of truth and understanding, helping our people to grow in knowledge about matters that affect our beloved island home. We pray, Father, that everything that is said and done through this broadcast and through the programming will bring honor and glory to your holy name. Let every word spoken be seasoned with grace, every discussion be guided by your truth, every program reflect your love for our nation and its people. We ask for your spirit of unity to rest upon this endeavor. Break down any walls of division and draw us together as one people under you. May our hosts and guests and callers alike demonstrate the fruits of your spirit: love, joy, peace, and patience, kindness and goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and of course, self control. And Lord, we pray that you grant wisdom to the hosts as they lead discussions, discernment to the guests as they share their insights, and understanding to the callers as they participate. Lord, let this broadcast be a place where healthy dialogue flourishes and where your light shines brightly. We dedicate this program to you, O Lord, and we commit it into your hands. May it be used mightily for your purposes and for blessing the people of Dominica. Lord, we thank you for all things. We thank you, dear God, for indeed you are good and your mercies endure forever. Lord, be magnified. Father God, be glorified, for we have prayed in Jesus' mighty name. Amen, 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 and amen.
Are you ready? Are you ready to talk about how we can help the vulnerable members of society, our children, the elderly, and differently abled? Are you interested in small business, education, job creation, and the environment? Then it sounds like you're ready. You're ready for Let's Talk Progress, a new uplifting show on Q95 every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hosted by United Progressive Party. Together for progress.
Today I never give up before. I'm not giving up. Today I never give up before. It's not in my blood.
All right, Dominica.
My blood.
Dominicans, wherever you are at this time,
Still I never
no, we are not giving up, huh?
in my blood.
Says Anthony B. in song.
In my blood.
So welcome aboard. Tell Lou to tell Sue, tell Paul to tell all that yes, the UPP program is on.
When the blessing
The United Progressive Party's program
starts more and more.
is on tonight. The first episode, the first edition.
Every day me wake me up to thank
I know, yes, you guys are glued.
you. Worry about the things me know.
So just in a bit, we're going to open up those lines to hear from you out there.
Still them want to take your glory. So tell the devil ignore.
So yes, folks, the United Progressive Party program, that is on from 7 to 9 each and every Saturday.
No, they have never give up.
As I said, tonight being the first edition, we welcome each and every one of you thus far. For those of you on the Facebook page, good evening to you as well. That is Q95 Facebook page. We are not giving up, Dominicans. That is not in our blood, huh? My name is Loftus Durant, just in case you don't know. In tonight with me, Mr. Joshua Francis, practicing attorney at law in Dominica,
That gets me out. Coming up
as we're about to get into some matters tonight.
trust one
The UPP.
man of his
You may be asking, what is the UPP? It's the United Progressive Party.
the Jones.
Brother Joshua Francis is here tonight
Far and down.
and is here to tell us much more about this party.
So every day,
So please keep it locked to the spot that you got, Q95.
and don't care
We are here tonight.
Still, I'm not giving up.
Are you giving up?
No, they have never give up before. It's not in my
Are you giving up?
blood. It's not in my blood. Many times I reach the crossroad.
The numbers to call into the lines when we open up those lines, they are 449-3095, 449-3096, 449-3097. Just in case you want to use the DG line, it is 616-4257.
Ignore me. Rasta,
And yes, to all you UPPites out there, good evening to you.
I'm not giving up. No, they have never
Dominicans by extension, no matter what height you are at this time, good evening to you as well. Those of you in the region and or further afield, pleasant good evening to you. Some of you is already good morning, huh?
still like
So whatever time of day you're listening to us at this time, welcome, welcome, welcome on board.
in my yeah, every day the wicked them get up and run up them dirty mouth. Think me at the kind of youth in
So guess what? I'm going to let Mr. Joshua Francis
this where them attack.
just give you some opening remarks tonight.
In a glass house.
And then thereafter,
Survive the feed
I will open up those lines to hear from you guys out there.
so we no sit down and
So without saying much more, it's already 15 minutes past the good old hour of 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Let me say a pleasant good evening to the man himself, Mr. Joshua Francis. Good evening to you, sir.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Loftus Dura, and good evening to the people of Dominica, both here and abroad. Good evening to every community and every Dominican, including those who are not listening. Tonight is a wonderful broadcast about to unfold. Please tell Jane, tell Sandra, tell everybody that the United Progressive Party program is on. It's a special night. Bonsoir, mon Dominique. We're going to have a good night.
Joshua, I'm seeing you having a very broad, I normally say 9:15 smile on your face. What is that smile all about, Josh?
Well, I'm just grateful to the Almighty God. The Lord is our shepherd, and we shall not want. He maketh us to lie down in green pastures, and he restoreth our souls. I have a restorative soul, and I'm here this evening to engage with Dominicans, and to enlighten Dominicans about this new political platform, this new political party, the United Progressive Party. It's a platform which is inclusive. It's a people's platform. Everybody is welcome. Don't matter what's your religion, what's your color, what's your ethnicity, no matter which part of Dominica that you come from, the United Progressive Party door is open. It's all left to you. You are invited. It's left to you to decide whether you want to come in through that door or you want to stay out. I urge you to come in as time goes by. If you have any doubt, I have no reasons to believe that you will not come in. It's a good night, and it's a new era.
It's a new era indeed. Josh, just before I open up those telephone lines so that the callers or listeners out there, can share some things on their mind with us in terms of a greeting. Josh, let's get into it. The United Progressive Party, just can you give us a little more in terms of information about that sort of new kid on the block in terms of political party joining the political fray in Dominica before we open up those lines? I think the people out there would want to hear some more in terms of the objective, the vision, mission, stuff like that, so that when they call in terms of their comments, they can be better informed.
Well, definitely. Thank you, Lofty. UPP stands for the United Progressive Party. And sometimes people say up. And I like that. Up. Dominica is going up. Lofty is going up. Joshua is going up. Viva Mambo is going up. Everybody is going up once he or she connects with UPP, up. The United Progressive Party. The party is young. The party is formally and officially registered in the Commonwealth of Dominica.
Mm-hmm.
What that means is that the party can and will contest in a general election. So the next general election, we will have candidates representing the United Progressive Party. The party symbol is a bottle. Now, one or two persons have asked, why the bottle?
Why? Just why?
Well, let me say that as a new registrant, when we applied for the registration of the party, there were only two symbols remaining, and that is a bottle and a knife. So we had to decide whether we were going to choose the knife or the bottle, and we decided to choose the bottle because we felt that the knife is offensive. On that note, I took the opportunity to speak to the chief elections officer, as he was then, to find out why two more symbols. And it was drawn to my attention that the symbols are made available through the regulations by the Electoral Commission, and that he, as the chief elections officer, would have drawn it to the attention of the Electoral Commission to make more symbols available. There are other symbols available, like the bird and the heart, but those are for independent candidates whenever we have an election. The party's color is orange. Orange. Now, orange has several meanings, but I like that orange is affiliated with the celestial space. It really, again, going up. The stars far in the celestial environment, in the Milky Way, a number of them are colored orange. So we're going up. The party really was cradled in the Kalinago territory. The idea of the party was given birth in the Kalinago territory. We had a meeting at the Kalinago territory, an indoor meeting, and then since then we have had a public meeting. So really, I like that the party was born in the Kalinago territory because it's parallel to the fact and history that the first people of Dominica are the Kalinago people. So the party basically is going back from the genesis of Dominica when you look at it from a historical point of view. Hence, the reason why the party is so established on environmental principles, because we appreciate that what we have here in Dominica today is because of the gifts God gave us. It's not because they were designed by another country or engineers. Those are gifts that God gave us, and the Kalinago people, as we know, resided in Dominica before the Europeans came in, and they coexisted with the environment in a sustainable manner. Hence, the UPP represents the sustainable development that many countries are seeking. And I'm just very glad to note that this party was launched. It is now on its way. And I have no doubt more and more people are going to get connected with that new wave, the United Progressive Party.
And Josh, if I should ask you that question on behalf of some persons who may be listening at this time and may be wondering, Josh, why a new party?
Well, the existing situation left many of us to wonder whether we were going to get onto the right platform to liberate Dominica, because Dominica has been under bondage, spiritual bondage, economic bondage, human bondage, etc. And we were of the view that by coming in with this fresh platform, this new platform, it will give every Dominican an opportunity to add value to what is happening, because we cannot and ought not to take another 5 years. And the existing situation made me believe, like many other Dominicans, that unless we get this new platform, we're not going to change the status quo. So really, it's an opportunity that arose. It came from inspiration. This is not a self-interest initiative. This is an initiative for the people of Dominica. Loftus Jura, the last time you were here on Q95 having a program with Matt Pelty, you told the world that you walk to and fro Dominica and you have heard the cries. You see the struggles. You see the pain, the grimace, the tension, the stress that many Dominicans are suffering. And you have the view and continue to believe with this new platform, it gives you an opportunity to contribute towards the removal of this government, which has become a political cancer in Dominica.
In terms of this, folks, we're going to open up the lines just say in the next 8 minutes, 7:30 thereabout, but we're just giving you some basic information about this new party that was formed sometime back. Josh, by the way, when was this party registered? When was it birthed? Well, you said it's in the Kalinago territory, it was cradled, but just give us, just narrow down the dates in particular.
Lovely, that's a very interesting question. The party started sometime last year. We started meeting a few of us. We were having discussions, And we had to meet certain criteria for us to be able to get registered and officially recognized as a political party. Now, keep in mind that the political party in Dominica is not an incorporated company. It is not an incorporated entity. It is not a legal entity, meaning that it cannot take somebody to court, nor can it be sued. The members of the party can sue or be sued, but the party itself gets legal recognition, but it does not become a legal entity. So I want the public to understand that. But we get recognition through the Electoral Commission. So first, to have achieved that recognition, we had to have a formal executive and we needed an address. And of course, it took us some time to get an executive, that is a president, a deputy president, a treasurer, to name a few. And we, of course, had to get an address. The registered address of the UPP is 10 Castle Street. That is directly a building directly opposite the Macmillan gasoline station. So it took us a few months, and sometime in April of 2025, we got the formal recognition as a political party in Dominica. Once we got that recognition, we then moved things in motion. We were able to open an account at the credit union for the purpose of obtaining donations, because as you know, political party requires finance for its operations. And since then, we have been involved in the formation of our website, which will be launched within the next few days. We have our official email, official telephone number, we have our secretariat. So the party basically needed some time to put the basic things in place. Now, at some point in time, we were moving fairly quick, but then there were questions as to whether we needed a new political party, and yourself, Lottie, and myself had to do some reflection in determining whether we were going to move forward with this new political party or to join our membership with another political party. And after much cogitation, reflection, and consideration, we came to the conclusion that it was in the best interest of Dominica to move forward with the United Progressive Party. And once we took that decision, over the past few days, we have been working and making things happen, and we are now going to be a major force in Dominica's politics.
So far, Josh, thank you. So far, what are the sentiments like on the ground in terms of this party when persons hear about this party?
Well, when we just came on the surface, when the name UPP surfaced in Dominica, a number of persons, particularly opposition supporters, felt that they did not need a new party. So it created some level of tension, some anxiety.
Mhm.
People had different arguments. They felt that we were a splinter group. We were going to undermine the opposition pillars. And some people even got upset with us. But as I said, we allowed time to elapse, and I personally considered the people's concerns. But over a period of time, I came to realize that as a leader, I had to discern and make a decision which is in the best interest of Dominica. And therefore, I called our troops, our members of our party, and I said to them, let's get going. And since then, I can say to you, the support has been overwhelming. Today, whilst walking in town, people kept saying, Joshua, I'm with you. Joshua is UPP. A matter of fact, I had some shirts with the logo of the United Progressive Party, and two persons, while speaking with them, asked, do you have shirts? And I said, yes, and I gave them a couple, and they left, and they kept calling me back, oh, somebody wants a shirt, that one wants a shirt, that one wants that one wants to come to a meeting. So it appears there is an excitement. There is something fresh and something new buzzing in the air. It's a new wave. It's happening in Loftus Dura.
So can I say that orange will be maybe the code in Dominica?
It is the code. It's not maybe. It will be the code.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
Orange. You know what somebody said to me today? That we are going to rearrange Dominica with orange.
Very well. Josh, we have some persons on the live feed there. Persons like Viva Mamo, you mentioned that name earlier. Carol Bruni, good evening to you guys. Patricia Fontaine Lovef Loda says that I'm watching from Loda. Good evening to you. Jan, good evening to you. Jan, asking persons to share the live. Eltha Shillingford, good evening to you. Stephanie John Baptist, my good folk down there in the G-Meet area. Good evening to you guys as well. All those of you on the live feed at this time, those of you in the the incognito mode, I can't see, but I know you're there. good evening to you in a very special way. Folks, it's just 2 minutes to us here opening up those lines. So please feel free to give us a call whenever we open up those lines in just about, well, a minute and a half to sort of interact and engage with us here. This program, this United Progressive Party program being the very first edition right here. George, just before we open up the lines, anything else you want to put on the table?
Yeah, well, definitely as we go along, I would like the public to appreciate what is UPP, what it represents, and why it is different from the other political parties. But for now, as we said, I want the public to appreciate the basics. The party's color is orange. The party's slogan, the party's motto is unity for progress, or we say together for progress. Together we're getting things done. Together we are going to liberate Dominica. Together we're going to make Dominica better. Together we're going to restore Dominica. Together we are claiming back Dominica. Whatever we have lost, we are going to take it back. All right. So the party has a constitution, and that constitution has several parts. So I could mention to the public. So you have part 1.
Josh, let's leave that sort of heavy material. Let's just let the public digest on the basics. Still, we'll get into some of the constitutional matters
definitely.
in just a while. So, folks, it's
I'm
about
guided.
Yes, it's about that time. Joshua Francis is in the house. Your host is here tonight. We're going to open up the lines. The numbers to call into the studio at this time to engage us here: 449-3095, 449-3096. 3097, Digiline 616-4257. Let's go. Anthony B says we are not giving up. Sending some strength to all of you guys out there this time through Anthony B's voice. No, we are not giving up. It's not in my blood. So yes, folks, the numbers to call: 449-3095, 3096, 3097. The lines are now open. It is your time. Let's hear from you guys out there. Let's go to our very first caller for this evening. Caller, yes, you're on. Good evening to you.
Yeah, good night. I'm Lofty. I call from Salisbury, and I would like to know if you guys have a representative from Salisbury already and other constituencies. Let us know.
All right, folks. Thank you very much. My very first caller from Salisbury, Jabawi. Josh, please take note, huh?
See, that's very interesting because Salisbury represents liberation. Salisbury is the center of Dominica's independence. And Salisbury continues to be in the struggle to liberate Dominica. So it's very interesting that the first caller is from Salisbury.
Very interesting indeed. Caller from the very first caller from Salisbury. I will remember you, huh? And of course, others as well who will be calling in tonight. Jean Bowie, good evening to you. Let's go to the telephone lines. They are now buzzing indeed. This one, caller, yes, good evening. Caller, you're on. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Very well, sir.
Well, my brother, I'm really, really happy to hear a new voice, to hear a new energy. I believe that's what Dominica needs right now. A new voice, a new energy. We have too many issues that we have to deal with. And we really have to go on the ground and work and see how we can remove this government out of power. And tonight I'm just calling to congratulate you all and the future programs. I want to join you all and to see how we can discuss and talk about the ills that is happening in our communities and in Dominica. How we can have a strategic plan to remove this government and have people that will be delivered from poverty, from all sorts of things that are happening.
Caller,
again, I want to congratulate you all.
Caller, can you tell us where you're calling from, please?
I'm calling from Castlebruce.
Castlebruce. All right, well, caller, my number is 245-2396. You can please reach out to me, and then we can take that conversation further. Huh? Let's go this line. Caller, yes, good evening to you on.
Hey, good evening to you, Lofty.
Yes,
And
good
good
evening.
evening to Joshua.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah. Yeah, your first caller was from Salisbury, and it's ironically that's happening because today at the market, 3 different market people from Salisbury asked me about the new party and if there's any representative for the Salisbury area. And your first caller asked that same question. But I want to also say congratulations to you guys. And Orange has been my favorite caller since I was a little boy. I was fascinated. Yeah, I just want to let you know that.
All
My
right.
favorite caller was Orange since I was a little boy. So I'm there in the loop.
All right. Well, caller, you don't need to identify yourself. Everyone know who is that caller.
Mervyn John Baptist.
Indeed.
You
So-
know the name, you know the voice. Everybody knows who's speaking. Yeah, but I will identify myself if you want me to do so.
A solid
Yeah.
soul there. A solid soul there
Yeah. Yes,
on
my
the
brother.
ground.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you,
Yes,
Marvin.
yes,
Thank
my
you
brother.
indeed.
Respect. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, very strong guy.
Yes, Mervyn is a real soldier, as Anthony B says, huh?
Oh, yes. A real soldier.
And the others out there,
And don't care how hard I try. Many times them try ignore the eye. Still, I'm not giving up. No, they have never give up before.
I know lots of folks in Dominica have basically given up already.
It's not in my blood. Many times I reach the crossroad. Still I never give up before. It's not
But the UPP is there, huh?
it's not in my
And so it's an alternative, it's a choice.
I'm not giving up. No, they have never give up before. It's not in my
And one of the callers, I think the second caller mentioned the work that needs to be done, Josh. And he also mentioned about strategic planning.
still
I noted those 2 words, caller from Cassie Bruce.
in my blood.
So sometime in the not too distant future, you'll be hearing some of those words put into action. So yes, the numbers are 449-3095. We're going to leave the lines open for like 5 more minutes, and then we get back to the talk here in terms of information.
No day, no day, no day, no way, no way.
449-3095-9697.
No, they have never give up before.
Dominicans, no, please don't give up, huh?
It's not in
We have a country to build together.
many times I reach the crossroad. Still I never give up before. It's not in my blood. It's not in my blood. I see red,
We have a country to build together.
I see low, I see less, I see more. It's one thing I know, when the blessing I show. Everywhere that I go, I learn to praise God more and more. Cause I've seen good time, bad time, happy and sad. Every day me wake me happy, thank you, God. Now have no time for worry about the things me no have. Now make the system mad.
A very serious song indeed from the man Anthony B. Just sending some strength to all of you out there, the struggling mothers,
Ignore
the struggling fathers,
that always put.
the college students out there.
Yeah, cause I'm not giving up. No, they have never give up.
Let's go to the overseas line. Overseas line, you're on with us. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Lofty,
Yes,
and
good evening.
François Francis, lawyer. I am so thankful for this party that coming. When I heard about the party, I also see United Workers' Party because Jean-Choix is one of us. One thing that is at the back of my head, my mind, is to take out spirit there. So if workers fail, I'll jump over with you all, my son. Good job, good job. I am on the edge. Let workers from the food for them to see how fast I'm gonna meet Jean-Choix Francis. Thank you. I got listening.
Caller, thank you indeed for your comments here.
To the ghetto
And yes, the call for unity is on the ground, has been on the ground for some time. And that's what the UPP is about to get into. So it's not one against the other in the opposition. We have to do it together. I spoke about the struggling mothers, struggling fathers, struggling youth in Dominica. This song is especially dedicated to you guys out there. We're going to get back to Joshua in just a while, but listen to a couple lines in this song.
Fire burn vanity. Hear me now. To the ghetto youths, to the single mothers, to the fathers that still I try. We salute you. Big up the real hard working people. Hey, some man get your work with a big paycheck. Look on the poor and show disrespect. Them say you're lazy, that's why you're there so low.
Well, some people want to interrupt that song, huh?
No, you rise early morning.
Let's go to the lines. The lines are buzzing. Caller, yes, good evening.
Good night, gentlemen. Good night, gentlemen.
Good night, sir.
We don't put division between the parties, right?
No.
What I want to see, structure it out and dumping where it to be. That's all about drag him out. And I'll be the best man in Dominica. Thank you very much.
Alrighty, caller. Thank you.
Salute the mothers, salute the man. Push through the system, do where you can, them can.
To all the struggling people out there in Dominica, and I know you guys are in your numbers.
Society trick we with fun.
This song.
Tell we success is the money and fame, but enough people rich and them souls still broke. While the humble man spread love like smoke. Them never tell you about the leaders corrupt. All the system designed to keep you locked up. It's not cause
It's a new vibe.
it's the chains of Babylon still on your back. Hold up your head high, never
Hold up your head high, huh?
just crown where you're wearing a tone. One day Babylon wall will fall, and the meek shall inherit it all. Big up the struggler, still a fight. Big up the workers through the darkest night. Don't care them say you know they're on the top. Hold firm your
Folks, I assure you we're going to end with this song, huh? Very, very inspirational. Very motivating one.
judge so
But we have to get back to Mr. Joshua Francis. It's 20 to 8
survive.
in terms of the information.
Big up the real ones.
Yes, big up, Dominican. Josh, we got to end with that song, but, I just give the people a teaser in it.
Oh yes, and it's very encouraging to hear the people. The people wants us to clean up cabinet. So we have to do this together. You got to bring the broom, we bring the detergents, we bring the gloves, we bring the shovels, we bring the grass cutters. We're just going to clean because Dominica's governance needs cleaning. It is dirty as it is right now. It is corrupt. It is nasty. And we need to clean it up. And the only way we can clean it up is to come together, do the work. As it is always said, it is faith and works, not just talk. We got to walk the talk. And that's what we're about to do. We're here to work and to work very hard because there's no other way, Loftus Dura. We cannot continually just be talking. We have to do the work. We have to go out there, connect with the people, build relationships with the people, understand different skill sets, bring in the people, engage the people. There are people who are policymakers, we welcome them in. There are people who are canvassers, we welcome them in. There are people who are financiers, we welcome them. There are people who are great orators, we welcome them. This party and platform really is for the people. It is an inclusive movement. It is not Joshua's party. It is not Loftus Dura party. It's the people's party. And I want to establish that from the onset. This United Progressive Party's platform is for Dominica. And the objective here, first objective is to win the hearts and minds of the people, to gain the confidence and trust of the people. The second objective is to ensure at the next polls that the Dominica Labour Party government will be rejected and ejected from office and will be replaced not just by a nominal team, but a team of people who Dominicans can trust, a team of people who will be committed to bring that change, to clean up the governance system in Dominica, to put our public institutions back on pillars of integrity, to put Dominica's vision back on integrity, back on sincerity, back on prosperity. At this hour, we need to realign Dominica. We must reconfigure the way we do business in Dominica. We have lost a lot. It is not too late. We are not giving up. The United Progressive Party is here to give hope. We invite you. We invite you to join. We do have a telephone number. You can send a WhatsApp. You can send a text. You can contact us. We have an email address. We'll share those things with you. You can contact us on Facebook. You can contact us on TikTok. All social media platforms will be open to the public to engage members of the United Progressive Party. As I said, the party's website is under construction. The party's office is under further development. And soon, Dominica will be fully engaged with this new party, this fresh party. There's no confusion here. This is a focus group. That's what Dominica needs right now. A group of people who are focused, a group of people who are selfless, a group of people who understand the plight of Dominicans. The majority of Dominicans are ordinary barefoot people. Yes, Dominicans have nice houses and driving cars all over the place. But at the end of the day, Dominicans are simple, they are unsophisticated, and they are crying for better Dominica. Dominicans have had enough of eating crumbs from the table. A select few are on the table and feasting on the resources of Dominica. They have gone there, they present themselves and parading themselves as people who care. We know that some of these people do not care. They are interested in their pockets, they're interested in self-interest, their friends' self-interest, and sadly, they are doing it at the detriment of Dominica's future. They are doing it at the detriment of Dominica's heritage. Because take, for example, right now, Lofty, and we're going to discuss that. How could a government facilitate the destruction of a watershed, of a forest reserve? Any government that does that is a government which would have lost its way. The Dominican Labour Party lost its way a long time ago. But right now, they are blatantly and abusing the passiveness, the kindness of Dominicans, and it needs to stop. And the United Progressive Party is providing that pillar for Dominicans to come together, to hold hands and to work to ensure that at the next polls that this Dominican Labour Party will be no more.
Josh, I'm getting a message here from one person. This message reads, "Hi, my friend. Very happy to be hearing this. Seriously speaking, I had already given up." Josh, can you speak to that person in particular and other people who may be of like mind in terms of just because of the situation, economic, otherwise, basically I've given up?
Yeah, well, Lofty, the struggle is real. The struggle is real. First of all, Dominica has a lot of working poor people. Public servants earning $2,000, $2,500. Some of these people have mortgages. An average mortgage for Dominicans about $400,000 to $500,000. 3-bedroom house, we are expected to pay somewhere between $400,000 and $500,000. That is just for a 3-bedroom house. Of course, based on the quality of the house, is going to exceed $500,000. It may go up to $1 million. Now, imagine you being an employee and you're earning $3,000 a month, or even $3,500 or $4,000. Let's put it $5,000. Let's put it that high, and I can assure you, not many Dominicans earn $5,000 EC a month. With a mortgage of $500,000, is expected of you to come up with at least $2,000, $1,000, somewhere between $1,500 to $2,000 monthly. Imagine if you're on your own, you're single, you're not married, you don't have a partner, and you have to take a mortgage. A mortgage, if you take a mortgage at the age of 25, 30, it's expected of you to have to pay for the next 30 years. Now, there is not much room for social mobility in Dominica. If you're in the public service, your salary may get some incremental increase over a 5-year, 10-year period, nothing to shout about. So the mortgage terms are almost fixed. So basically, you are just working for the bank, because by the time you pay off $1,500 to $2,000, your salary is half of it is almost gone already. Then you have a little car. You have to pay the bank maybe $800,000 monthly or $1,000 monthly based on the type of car you're driving on the road. Now think about it. Think about it, Lofty. So you're looking at almost all of the salary. Now, I'm coming up to one of the biggest problems in Dominica right now. One of the biggest problems in Dominica right now is the high cost of living. And whose fault is that? We are hearing about external shocks. We cannot dispute the fact that the world has gone through certain economic changes. We have had COVID, we have had climate change, and we have had other challenges in the world that has caused price level to increase. And price level increase is a challenge in many countries of the world. But what sets Dominica apart from most other countries, including our neighbors, is that this government has caused Dominica to become so import oriented. For a country with such fertile soils and rich water and farmers, rich resources, we have allowed our farmers to leave the farms, and right now we're importing almost everything we have to eat. That is madness. This is a government that has been careless. Food security is a big issue. A matter of fact, the United Nations has already declared in the next 20 to 30 years, food security is going to be even of greater significance because of several reasons. Number one, climate change. We're having desertification or temperature rise in many countries, causing water supply to drop and agricultural yield to drop. And then we have other challenges that will cause the price of food to go up. Therefore, any right-thinking government would ensure that it encourages subsistence agriculture, it encourages production, it encourages food supply. Now think about it. Dominica, primarily, most of its people are in the rural places. We have some people concentrated around Roseau, but most of Dominica is rural. And therefore, had the government had a vision, it would ensure that those rural places would have been more engaged in agricultural production. And we're not even talking about making Dominica the food basket, because Lofty, since we were children, we have been hearing that Dominica should be the food basket of the Eastern Caribbean. We have departed far away from that possibility. Right now, for us to get some vegetables, we will have to go to the supermarkets. And if you look at where the carrots are from, imported, you really don't get much local carrots anymore. You don't get local cabbage. A lot of our agricultural supplies are actually imported. So that is a reality. So we are looking at this from an economic point of view, the economic hardship that Dominicans have to go through. Then we have social issues. We are seeing our young men are falling in cracks, and that is of grave concern. A lot of young people right now have basically given up on the system. We're seeing them around Roseau. We are seeing an increase in number of young men who are falling prey to cocaine abuse, crack, and marijuana abuse. And the result is when they fall in the cracks, this government has made absolutely no provisions for rehabilitation. We have a legal framework, as an example, to provide training centers for juveniles, so people, adolescents who fall in the crack. But this government has not made that an issue. There isn't really serious welfare for our young people who fall in the cracks. So that is something that United Progressive Party has taken into consideration, and we will ensure that whether we are part of a coalition or not, in the next government, we will show more care to the human resource base of Dominica, because really the gem of Dominica lies in the people. I mean, our fight here, Lofty, is for the people after God, is for the people of Dominica, for the plants in Dominica, for the soil in Dominica, for the water in Dominica, for the animals in Dominica. These are God-given gifts that makes Dominica unique and peculiar. And sadly, this government has failed to present a plan to ensure we have sustainable development. We have a lot of sun, we have wind, we have water. Dominica should have been far ahead in the area of renewable energy. Instead, we hear about this geothermal project as an example. We have heard about the amount of money that has been expended, and to this date, we have not gotten anything from this project. But we'll get to that as time goes by. We will dissect the different components of the economy and the social infrastructure. But Lofty, I can assure you, I can tell you, I can promise you that the United Progressive Party will address all those issues. I have been on the ground. I love Dominica. I'm here. You are here because of our love, our selfless love for Dominica. And when we're on the ground, we hear the people. Small businesses are struggling. In the last 25 years, we have had a number of businesses that had to depart from the market. Of course, everybody knows the story of Ross University, Kubuli, Bello, to name a few. And we have to remind ourselves that we have had a departure of a number of business. Entrepreneurs have had to go overseas. Our young people, they grow up, they get to a certain age, they want out. That's a struggle. Family under pressure, individuals, particularly our young men, under severe pressure. So those are the things we're going to address, and we're going to see how we're going to make things better, because UPP really is a solution party. We're not going to spend too much time just going over our issues. We identify the issues and we're going to provide answers to the issues.
Solution-oriented body.
Yes, definitely.
Caller, yes, it's 8 minutes to the hour of 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, at the top of the hour, we're going to hear from the son of Mr. Ruzi Douglas, esteemed Ruzi Douglas, the late, that is. We're going to hear some words, a statement from Mr. Cabral Douglas. Stay tuned. Caller, yes, good evening, you're on.
Yes, good evening to the audience, good evening to George, good evening to Mr. Loftus Buren.
Good evening, sir.
Good
I
evening,
want
sir.
to ask my voice to some support to Professor Francis at the Cohen. I continue Professor Frederick, because we are Francis, we are Frederick in the Kalinago territory. I am from the Kalinago territory. And I want to tell you, the Kalinago territory is very strong up here with Joshua Francis. Josh.
Yes, sir.
Lucky.
Yes,
I
sir.
want to start my politics a little further back. You see, as a young man growing up as a child, I used to hear about DUPP run by Baron government in my childhood days. You take out the Gouvernement Bao. And then sometimes, I think in 1952, the Dominican Labour Party was born, something like that. And Mr. LeBlanc, Phyllis all free, and Mr. Low Black and Ukraine, all those others came forward. And we had a good, strong Labour Party at this time. However, Labour Party have an image. When things working too good, it always has to fall into turmoil. At one time, Mr. E.O. LeBlanc was the chief minister of Dominica, and he had to fire 5 of his government ministers. And that was the beginning of the downfall of the Labour Party. Anyhow, he continued being a gentleman, doing very good for Dominica, cutting roads across Dominica, opening up Dominica, and opening up agriculture for the country. And LeBlanc did a very good job out of that. Then, after Patrick John came, and when Patrick John came, he continued, and then Patrick had his witnesses. I think he had a Hosham of bill. You could not speak ill about the Labour Party. And apart from that, he was involved in some kind of gun running business in Sydney Bonnet Island. And that was the fall of Patrick John Labour government at the time. Charles Sabre used his position as...
Caller, we don't want to rush you, but can you just sort of bring home those points and drive home the 1 or 2 points you really want to tell us first to, get back to the conversation indeed. Yeah?
Okay.
Time is of the essence.
Pardon me?
I said, can you just bring those points together in a very expedited manner so that we can get back to the main conversation we're having? We understand you, so you want to bring us back way back when, but just, bring us home.
And playing a role in bringing on the Labour Party. And then we had the Eugenia Charles government. Very stable government under Eugenia Charles. And then Edison James came in. After 15 years, Eugenia Charles started tightening the grip on 4 people again. And then the UWP came in as a savior. But they didn't last. They only did 4.5 years. And then the Labour Party and the Freedom Party joined forces to remove them from office. After 4.5 years, we were hoping that the Labour Party would have done better, but the Labour Party under Ruzi Douglas passed, we know that, Pierre Charles passed, and this young man came and figured maybe his godfather or his grandfather had left an estate called Dominica for him, and he's been using it to that extent since his inception. And I think it's too bad. Dominicans feeling it. The few workers around him. We have the Syrians supporting him, Nasif and Astafan, and then the indigenous Dominican business people are suffering like all other Dominicans. Farmers are suffering, and for him to stay in power, he dismantled all of the private sector and believe he could employ all Dominicans. And we don't have one export product going out of Dominica and depending on handouts, selling Dominican passport. Dominican passport does not belong to him. Dominican passport belongs to the indigenous Kalinago people because Dominica belongs to the Kalinago people. When Patrick John went to government to the Queen in England for independence in 1978, on his first trip, they said,
Caller again, I don't want to rush you off the line, but just please sort of, bring home those points. Let us hear what you're saying and tell us exactly what you want to tell us tonight.
I think it's the history of Dominica politics is that we have been up and down, up and down, up and down.
Okay.
And now is the time for a poor man from the country area, Joshua Francis. And it's time that Dominica trust the poor people that come from the country area. One is Kalinago blood, an original Kalinago person. Let Kalinago run the way now, because Kalinago blood is the first blood on Dominica. And I think Joshua is the perfect person to be the Prime Minister of Dominica right now. Let's
All
put
right.
it to an end for that. We'll call it.
All right, caller. Thank you very much. So Josh, here's a big endorsement from a Kalinago brother, former chief. Matter of fact, basically bringing us way back when and telling us that Joshua Francis Kalinago blood should be the next PM for Dominica.
Well,
That, in a nutshell, that's what he wanted. That's what he said.
Well, let me just say thank you to Mr. Charles Williams, as you rightly said, a former Kalinago chief, a gentleman who gave a lot to the Kalinago territory. One of the areas which he pioneered that brought a transformation to the education based in the Kalinago territory is that he was successful in getting the University of the West Indies to provide several scholarships to the Kalinago people, particularly at a time when indigenous people did not have many opportunities to study at a higher level or at higher education institutions. I am one of the beneficiaries of those opportunities which were provided by the University of West Indies, resulting from the efforts of Mr. Charles Williams. So I want to say thank you. There are a number of other prominent people in the Kalinago territory who benefited from the University of the West Indies scholarship. Now, whilst I'm on that lofty, I just want to assert a point. Now, as I said, over a period of time, we are going to look at several areas of Dominica and to provide our own vision to Dominicans. Whilst on that issue, considered Mr. Charles Williams and education, we have a serious brain drain issue here, Mr. Dura. And the young people really are the future. They're the ones with the energy. And any right-thinking government would do its utmost to retain and to keep its young people on the island for the purpose of development. We have had a government that has been very nonchalant in the way in which it manages young people. You cannot tell me that over the years, this government has been talking about one graduate per household. By the way, Dominicans need to understand that is not a vision of the Dominica Labour Party. This really is a millennial vision, a United Nations vision for developing countries. And you would have heard the same thing in St. Vincent with what was dubbed the education revolution in St. Vincent, where the late, I was going to use, a late political leader of St. Vincent, that is Mr. Gonzalez. But one of the differences between St. Vincent and Dominica is that St. Vincent was able to provide an environment for its graduates to return. Here in Dominica, we gave scholarships to many young people. And most of these young people did not return to Dominica. They're not interested, and you cannot fault them because this government was not able to create a Dominica where young people can realize their dreams, can experience social mobility, and to earn an income that makes sense to them. And worse for those who had to take loans. Their families, of course, had to put up their properties for security. They went on to study based on those education loans, and they have found it very difficult to come back to Dominica to be able to pay off their loans and to live a decent life. So in the area of education, we definitely have to make a difference. We have to create a Dominica where our young people, after graduating, will want to come back to Dominica. And when will that happen? When there are more jobs available, when salaries are higher, and when the social infrastructure in Dominica is better. And in the area of education, Loftus-Dura, another problem that we have had under this Dominica Labour Party government is that we did away with the vocational programs. So we have been sending our children basically to go into academia, go and study sociology, psychology, accounting, become an attorney, become a medical doctor. But Hurricane Maria exposed one of the problems we have in our educational curriculum, and that is skills people, technical people. We had to import Lucians, St. Lucians and Jamaicans and people from other neighboring islands because we had a shortage of electricians, plumbers, and Loftus. Isn't that true? Isn't that true?
Very true.
Now,
Very true.
again, that is a shortcoming of this government. It failed, and it's not a matter of doing it for the first time. Those are things which existed in the 80s and 90s, where we had vocational vocational programs, training centers, where young men, like in the youth training division, would go out there and learn to do plumbing and electricals, because those things are just as vital as the traditional academic areas.
True. All right, Josh, thank you very much. We have a number of comments coming in from the live feed. We're going to get to those in just a while. But as I promised earlier, it's 3 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. We're going to listen to at least a statement from the son of the esteemed Ruzi Douglas, late Ruzi Douglas, in the name of Cabral Douglas. Let us just take a listen now as to some of the thoughts of Mr. Cabral Douglas. Take a listen, people.
Greetings to all my Dominican family and friends at home and abroad throughout the length and breadth of Dominica. This is Cabral Douglas. I just want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the United Progressive Party and its leader, the Honorable Joshua Francis, for the role that they've played in bringing awareness to the debauched situation and the environmental degradation causing harm to the surrounding communities of Marigot and Concord. This is the type of leadership that the country requires, and this has brought about a tangible change, forcing the government of Dominica to halt the project and to reconsider its plans to a more people-centered, consultative process. So thank you very much, UPP, and the agitation, the community activism has led to a petition where we had over 3,000 Dominicans getting involved in direct political action to bring about the change that we wanted in this particular issue. And this is change. And this is the type of change that Dominica will require going forward. And that is why I want to urge all Dominicans to tune in to Q95 tomorrow night at 7 p.m., where Joshua Francis and the United Progressive Party will be outlining its platform on how to bring about change, not only with regards to the environment, but with regards to the economy, with regards to small business, with regards to youth and sports and the entertainment industry, so that Dominicans can benefit and see the change that we so dearly require and we so dearly yearn for. This is Cabral Douglas, thanking you for tuning in, and bye for now, and have a lovely afternoon.
All right, Cabral, bye for now. Indeed, folks, he did that recording last night. So basically, the program is on. You're listening live tonight to that program. But Cabral, thank you very much, folks. Those of you who did not, get it on the get-go, on the first go that is, we're going to play that statement from Brother Douglas one more time for your listening pleasure. Cabral, one more time.
Greetings to all my Dominican family and friends at home and abroad throughout the length and breadth of Dominica. This is Cabral Douglas. I just want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the United Progressive Party and its leader, the Honorable Joshua Francis, for the role that they've played in bringing awareness to the debauched situation and the environmental degradation causing harm to the surrounding communities of Marigot and Concord. This is the type of leadership that the country requires, and this has brought about a tangible change, forcing the government of Dominica to halt the project and to reconsider its plans to a more people-centered, consultative process. So thank you very much, UPP, and the agitation, the community activism has led to a petition where we had over 3,000 Dominicans getting involved in direct political action to bring about the change that we wanted in this particular issue. And this is change. And this is the type of change that Dominica will require going forward. And that is why I want to urge all Dominicans to tune in to Q95 tomorrow night at 7 p.m., where Joshua Francis and the United Progressive Party will be outlining its platform on how to bring about change, not only with regards to the environment, but with regards to the economy, with regards to small business, with regards to youth and sports and the entertainment industry, so that Dominicans can benefit and see the change
that we so dearly require and we so dearly yearn for. This is Cabral Douglas, thanking you for tuning in, and bye for now, and have a lovely afternoon.
Are you ready? Are you ready to talk about how we can help the vulnerable members of society, our children, the elderly, and differently able? Are you interested in small business, education, job creation, and the environment? Then it sounds like you're ready. You're ready for Let's Talk Progress, a new uplifting show on Q95 every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hosted by United Progressive Party. Together for progress.
Let's talk progress. Thank you very much indeed. Josh, any words you want to just put in here before we go to the live feed?
Yes, I just want to say that the United Progressive Party is really an exciting modern party, and the constitution was designed to reflect the modernity of our society. As you know, the new language, the new religion in the world right now is climate change. And in designing the constitution of the UPP, we felt it was necessary to make provisions for a secretary for the environment. And I want to announce that to the public that one of the core values of United Progressive Party is to champion the environment, because the environment is the bedrock for any society. The environment is what God provided to us as gifts so that we can coexist with the animals and we can use his God-given resources for our sustainability. And Dominica is so peculiar. It is unique. It is exceptional. And therefore, the United Progressive Party will champion environmental issues. Hence, one of the reasons why we are paying very close attention to the illegal, and I say illegal, activity at Dubois, because we are not aware that this government embarked on the provisions as outlined in the Forest Reserve Act, in the Physical Planning Act, amongst other pieces of legislation in Dominica. The government has not disclosed to us any EIA and has not provided any assessment tests to confirm that it followed the law. So it is doing something illegal. Of course, we're aware of the ramifications of that project. Should it continue, it can lead to serious, irreversible damage to our area. Because Lofty, why would the government want to tamper with the forest reserve? This is a government that has gone into national parks where we have what we used to call Kempinski Continental Hotel. The government had to go to Parliament to get permission to amend the boundaries of that area up there so that this hotel could be built. Now, the government is engaged in the marine development project in Portsmouth. That also causes damage to the swamp area. Places which are designed as reserves, as parks. So what is happening in Dubois, I'm once again asking the public to pay attention to it, because there are serious ramifications should this government be allowed to continue with that project. We have heard a number of them. We have heard the environmentalists. Let me call out Mr. Atherton Mate. Let me call out Mr. Gary Ogis, some of the people who have been involved in the enlightenment process for Dominica to stand up. And we need to stand up against this government. We cannot allow this government to destroy the environment. So I want to announce to you that because we place the environment as a top priority, our constitution provides for a secretary for the environment, and that is section 18 of our constitution. It says that the secretary for environment shall, 1, be responsible for ensuring that sound environmental conservation and management policies are articulated in the party's manifesto and propagated in party's programs, promoting sustainable management of natural resources at the national level. Number 2, perform such related other duties as may be directed by the National Executive Committee. So, Lofty, that is exciting that we provide for a secretary for the environment. Also, when we look at the party's vision, the party envisions, and I'm reading from part 1 of the party's constitution, it says that the party's envisions a Dominica where democracy and freedom fully prevails, the people have dignity The resources of the country are used in a sustainable manner towards optimizing the well-being of its citizens and residents in an equitable manner, and people are empowered to thrive economically and socially. So again, we are talking about sustainable development. We are talking about the proper use of an environment, because love to think about it. I always say to Dominicans that Haiti, as we know it, once had a lot of flowing rivers, dense, thick green forest. Over the years, because of deforestation, because of mismanagement of the forest, now before it rains, the coastal area of Haiti is brown because of soil seepage, because of erosion, because of sedimentation. Now, one may think that cannot happen in Dominica because 70% of Dominica's forest is in a very rough terrain. But with the attitude of this government, where we pay very little regard to our water catchment area, as is being seen by the activity that's happening at Dubois, very little respect for the environment and for the people who are benefiting from that area. Now, if we allow this government to go into the North Forest Reserve, as they are planning to, although they claim that they're not going into the reserve, they're going on the boundary of the reserve to obtain rocks and other materials for the purpose of constructing the airport, when we are being told by the environmentalists that the government has options. They can go on the west coast, but for some reason they are bent in going in that area, an area that provides a lot of benefits to the Kalinago people. That somehow they're going to affect the heritage of the Kalinago people, they're going to affect water supply, they're going to affect the aquatic environment, both in the fresh water in the rivers, as well as the marine environment, because of sedimentation and siltation. And further to that, the water level in the rivers may be affected. The water velocity, the water volume in the rivers, these are serious ramifications, because we know once we cut one tree, two trees, three trees, especially along watershed areas or along rivers, naturally we're going to get or experience a drop in the water volume area. The Kalinago people, the Concord people, the Marigot people are in direct line for the adverse and irreversible consequences that can result if we do not stop this government. So I am saying all this to place it on a record that the United Progressive Party takes the environment very, very, very seriously. And not only because of the economy, because part of our heritage. Again, you heard Mr. Charles earlier talking about the Kalinago people. Lofty, if you appreciate the history of Dominica, one of the reasons why Kalinago people are so resilient and survived is because they had this rough terrain. They sought refuge in the forest. The Europeans did not take chances to go and look for them in the forest. Our forests play very, very important roles. And this government, once again, is showing Dominicans that all it cares about, as Mr. Mate would say, is building, 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 and not thinking of the future generations.
Indeed. Josh, the young brother, his name doesn't come to mind now, who basically split that situation right open by making that video. Any thoughts, read his brother, on that expose?
Yeah, I think I want to commend the young brother. I understand that he is an environmentalist. I have since attempted to have a conversation with him. He has reached out to me. I'm going to make some arrangements to meet with him in person. And again, Loftus Dura, I want to tell the public that's the kind of leadership that will be providing to Dominicans. We are people who will be listening. We'll be going out there and taking into consideration the cares and concerns. So I want to say thank you to Gary Ogis, who went out there as one of the first leaders to really enlighten Dominicans on what is happening in Dubois, a very important issue. And for those who have not understood what is happening, I ask of you to take some time. And you can even go online to sign a petition, which is sponsored by Gary and his group. I understood there's a young Brisbane lady, amongst others, who are part of this enterprise to get the government to not just hold the projects for a few days and pretend that it's going to consult. Because when the Prime Minister visited the site a few days, he told the public that he was going to cause, and listen to this, he, the Prime Minister, not Planning Division that's supposed to have intervened a long time ago, not Forestry Director who's supposed to have said something a long time ago. It is the Prime Minister who says, we are going to hold the project to facilitate a consultation with the people of Concord and interest groups on Monday, and thereafter we'll take it on. That was supposed to have been done a long time ago, but this government operates back to front. You do not go and tamper with the environment. And when enlightened people like Gary, enlightened people like Miss Brisbane, enlightened people like Atherton Matter call you up, and then you realize the public is responding, the public is showing concern for political reasons, you're then telling the public, well, you know what, we're going to halt it and we're going to have consultation. For the project of that magnitude, that was supposed to have been one of the basic things that the government ought to have done a long time ago. We continue to question, where is the EIA? The environmental impact assessment, the environmental impact and social assessment, where are they? I happened to visit a meeting which was being held at Concord. I was on my way to the Kalinago territory a couple of weeks ago, and a birdie told me that there was a meeting hosted by Mr. Binwa, apparently who's working for Sierra 5 and MMCE, concerning the project at Concord. And at that meeting, someone asked him whether there is any existing EIA or EISA for the construction of the international airport. And he said, no, there isn't. What he's aware of is an environmental statement. An environmental statement is not as comprehensive, and it does not meet the requirement as outlined under the Physical Planning Act of Dominica for a project of that magnitude. So on that basis, the government has transgressed the laws of Dominica as it has done in the past, and it does it with impunity, because it feels that it can do whatever it wants in this country. And we need to stop them, because if we don't, all of us will live to suffer the consequences. Already when there are droughts, our pipes are closed. A place like Dominica, Doasco not supposed to ever shut down our water supply. But a couple of years ago, when we experienced droughts, Dominicans got a taste of what it means when our pipes do not have water. So it is not far-fetched that if we allow this government to go into watersheds to destroy the environment, that water supply will be an issue. It's not just, a lot of Dominicans just take it for granted. We have a lot of water. There are many countries in the world that had a lot of water, but over a period of time, places that had water catchment are now deserts. So please take this seriously.
True. Thank you. We've had a caller waiting on the line for some time. Caller, yes, good evening. Are you there?
Yeah, good evening, both of you.
Good evening.
Yeah, I want to ask Mr. Francis a question. Your party, which is a new party, very young, I would like to know, what are your plans in terms of reform if in case your party forms the government in the next election? What are the reforms? For example, we have some of the situation in Dominica that I have noticed. I live in abroad, and I know of, if a civil servant who is skillful in any area wants to take part into the political business, he or she has to give up his job. And if his party does not win, or if he does not win himself, or she does not win, she loses her job, especially if the person is a civil servant. But where I am, they give you the break to take part in politics, and your job is secure if you are not successful at the polls. Dominica does not have that. What is also...
And sir, may I ask, where are you? Where are you now? Where are you?
What?
You said where you are, meaning where you are, they provide for that. So I'm just asking you, where are you?
No, well, I'm in France.
Oh, in France. Okay, thank you.
So
Continue.
If you are a civil servant, you're a police officer, and you want to take part in politics, you just go to the department, then you do that, and your job is still secure in case you're not successful at the polls. Now, there's another thing again. In France, you have like the village council. They have the village police that is required to do little domestic things instead of having the national police, who may have too much of a challenge to take care of all these little problems, and that prevents them from being as effective as they should be. So what are the reforms? We tend to see most of the people at the village council are people who are partially can read and write, or there are some people who are clever too, but most of the time, anybody, no matter what background, your educational background you have, you can take part in the village council, and then you cannot write your name. So what is the different reform? That is the only truth that I have in my mind. The dual citizenship is another thing. If someone has a foreign citizenship and the person wants to come back to Dominica and take part into election, the Constitution does not permit you to have dual citizenship. But if that person doesn't win and he gives up his nationality, that person is also in limbo. So some of the reforms, I believe, which is required. How long a prime minister is supposed to be in the capacity of a prime minister? Is it 2 terms or is it 3 terms? Now, what about the amount of constituencies we have, which is too much? 21 for a population of almost 60,000 people, or even a little more. So I believe some of these things, because what we are hearing every day is almost the same thing. People want to keep that government in power. I am not in the favor of that government. I want them to come up there from yesterday. I want them not to be there. So what I'm saying is that the whole of Dominica, even their supporters know that Skerrit lies a lot. He has 2 PhD in line. And
all right, caller. Yes, I'll have to take you out on that note in the interest of time, but we got your point. Thank you very much indeed for listening to the program tonight. George, this caller basically gave you a mouthful to deal with. How would you respond?
Loftus Jura, let me tell the public once again that the Constitution of the United Progressive Party makes provision for a policy council. Now, there's a saying that wisdom never lies in one head. And we recognize as members and leaders in the United Progressive Party that we do not know all. And therefore, we are willing to engage the technocrats and the expertise in different areas. The gentleman brought up several areas. I want to take the opportunity to invite him and other technocrats and experts who are listening to us tonight to reach out to either you directly or myself or the Secretariat of the United Progressive Party at number 277-6272. You can also engage me on Facebook and or other social media platforms. Inbox me and tell me that you are willing to make a contribution to the United Progressive Party and the opposition movement in getting rid of the Dominica Labour Party. So as far as policies are concerned, I do agree with the gentleman that there are a lot of our laws that needs to be reviewed. Once again, this government has been careless. The Eastern Caribbean has moved on in several areas of laws. They have modernized their laws. And some of those laws are part of laws of harmonization, meaning that all member states of the Eastern Caribbean should enact them. Dominica is always last to enact this pieces of legislation. But let's see what they do with the CBI. They're in a hurry to harmonize the law with CBI, because should they fail to do that, of course, they could be blacklisted in the European Union or in the United States of America. So I do agree with the caller that several pieces of our legislation require consideration for modernization. He speaks of public servants being disallowed to participate in politics. Now, let me just say that on paper, public servants ought not to participate in politics, but under this regime, over the past 25 years, we have seen certain civil servants being blatant in supporting the Dominica Labour Party. Beyond that, we have seen civil servants getting contracts to build hotels, all against the laws as enshrined in our legislative code in Dominica. But they get away with that because this government is not interested in keeping up or holding up law and order. The people who are responsible to take our leaders at task, to make them account, they themselves have been compromised. The leadership of the Dominica Police Force has been compromised. The IPO is toothless. The FIU is toothless. Just to name the institutions that are supposed to ensure that we follow law and order in this country. So whilst on paper, public servants ought not to participate, we are seeing public servants. Lofty, in previous elections, we saw vehicles with G's, government vehicles, actually being part of DLP's campaign. So all those things have to change, but those things cannot change under this regime. The first thing we have to do is to change the government. Then the gentleman speaks of the constituency boundary. I do agree with him. Dominica is too small, a small population. Yes, Dominica, in terms of the terrain, just over 300 square miles, bigger than Barbados and St. Lucia and so on. But the population is small compared to those places, and yet we have 21 constituencies. So we must have that discussion. But again, that's a constitutional matter. And therefore, we must have the majority in parliament to support a change in constituency boundaries.
Josh,
and then he speaks of...
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
I was just going to entertain a caller there.
Oh, you go ahead. I will continue. Yes.
There's a sort of competition between the callers tonight and the comments on the live feed.
Yes.
Caller, yes, good evening. Be succinct, please.
Hey, good evening, Lofty and Josh.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Josh, good night to you.
Good evening.
I want to give you a number before I say something so that when you reach home, when you settle down, you can give me a call. My number is 265-9673. My name is Ronnie Josh. And even the guy in France, I think he get the number. He can also give me a call. He's somebody I want to see. I heard he speak on the matter one of those days. But just back to you on the crushing issue in Marigot. Are you hearing me, sir?
I am.
Right. On the crusher up in Debwash, I just want to give the Prime Minister a little advice. I from Marigot, the North. I think somewhere in the 80s, you had a company who they call Beaver, a Canadian company, they come and do the runway. I think they had picked some stones from that era, but they didn't really go into the soil. And they was moving it all the way down to Marigot by trucks. And they had it at the runway next to the fire service. That's where they put up the crusher on the base of the runway. Galakan, it wasn't Galakan, the one that do the road from Portsmouth come up. It's not Melote, I just can't remember the name. Fincher. They put a crusher lower down to the Hatton Garden at number 6. That's right where you see Hibiscus of the Echo Village. And they was moving the materials from Debwash and other places. There was also a crusher at the top of the airport that was owned by the government, and they would move stones from different locations. They would take stones from the river that wouldn't damage the environment. Like the stones the river would, when it overflowing, would bring on the beach. They would use manpower and they would put out stones by heap. They would pay people and put out stones by heap. And that crusher served a lot of places in the government buildings in Roseau. So one of the things I believe the Prime Minister should do, as a man that gets a great support from the Kalinago people up on the reserve up there, and that's one of the heritage sites. I had a site up there, which is Cicero Waterfall. I do some work, spend some money, but then I was getting some serious problem with planning and even the citizens. So what I would advise the government to do is to sit down and think about it. I give them a suggestion, in the Londonderry there. They could move that crusher at the top where they have a livestock. You have no homes, nothing there. That is just a piece of flat land inside of it over Londonderry. I think they should move it there and put up a badge jetty, which is very close in the area there. It's just around from Roseau to Pottersville. And you have enough space because you're going to still need space for storing the material. And the government should plan that project before. Sit with the people of Concord, get the ideas, because he is the Prime Minister saying, come with ideas. Bring your ideas on board. I think that's where you have to work. Because you're going to build an international airport, you still want ecotourism. You want to, when the visitors pass there.
All right, caller, like I keep telling other callers, please just, wrap up that point and drive home some solid points so that we could, just wrap it up, caller. All right. I think that caller basically.
Lofty, we do not want to advise the Prime Minister. We want to advise the people of Dominica to get prepared to remove the Prime Minister.
Mm-hmm.
After 25 years, we have to advise the Prime Minister to do things properly, to follow the laws. That before he got involved in the construction of the international airport, that he's supposed to have done certain things, follow certain protocols and procedures. He failed to do that. And he has failed in many areas. And therefore, that is why we really have to work in ensuring that we remove that Prime Minister on our front. But I want to go back to the caller who called from France before you entertain some other
go on.
talks, because he did raise certain important things.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing that he spoke about was the terms that a Prime Minister should serve. All right, a lot of Dominicans seem to be in favor of the term limit for a Prime Minister. The party, fine, but the Prime Minister, because as I said, the longer you stay in government, is more corrupt you get, especially persons with dispositions to be self-enriched and to just care about themselves. Now, taking that in mind and listening to the people, the United Progressive Party provides that, and again, that comes under Part 4 of our Constitution, that is with the National Executive Committee. It says here in section 917, and for those who are interested in the Constitution, soon you'll be able to have access to the Constitution of UPP when the website is formally published sometime next week. But it says here, the leader and deputy leader are only allowed to serve no more than 2 consecutive terms and extended to no more than 3 terms, subject to the approval of the General Council. So right within our party, no leader is allowed to go beyond 2 terms, maximum 3 terms. And that has to be ratified and accepted by the General Council for him to go beyond 2 terms. Now, if we have that in the Constitution, it would suggest that at a national level, at a parliamentary level, we support that no prime minister should go beyond 2 terms, and if deemed necessary, beyond 3 terms. But of course, for us to achieve that, we would need constitutional amendment. We would need a 2/3 majority in parliament. That part of the Constitution is not part of the Bill of Rights, and therefore we do not need a referendum. All we need is a majority of parliamentarians to agree on that matter and to take it from there. Because we understand that we should never allow any more prime minister to go beyond 3 terms in our jurisdiction. We are seeing the result. When that happens, not only the prime minister may become corrupt, but he becomes entitled, like he owns the place. When a prime minister can go on a public platform and say, I rule things in Dominica, and we just take that lightly, no prime minister should rule things in Dominica. Every prime minister should be subject to the Constitution of Dominica. But we have allowed this prime minister to be arrogant, to be entitled, and to abuse the intelligence of Dominicans. And that is why UPP is here creating this fresh platform to combat the DLP at the next general election and to secure victory for the people of Dominica.
All right, Joshua, well said indeed. Like always, it is basically 8:35 now, 25 minutes to 9 o'clock. So we are now on the home stretch, as it were. Josh, let's take some comments from the live feed because we have persons there talking as well, persons commenting. Maslin Edwards, and please feel free, Josh, to respond based on the comments. Maslin Edwards writes here, all institutions in Dominica have technically, she said, been made redundant under Roosevelt's carrot. They are useless and have failed in their functions and purpose. Chiquito Thomas says here, this is a good movement, guys. Congratulations on this movement. Let me just take one more to put on your plate, Josh, and then I will turn over to you for your response or responses. Alvin Thomas says, Josh, I think you have eloquently touched on the key areas of development that we need to address. 1, economic growth. 2, human and social well-being. And 3, sustainable use of our natural resources. Your comment, Josh, before we move to
what we heard from those commentators reflect the general sentiments around Dominica. There are many issues that we have to touch on, including non-traditional or what we say non-sexy issues, because there are issues in Dominica that we don't pay attention to. So, for example, caring for our elderly, although the Dominica Labour Party has a program dubbed Yes We Care. And I must say that's a great program because in any society, we have to take care of the vulnerable. But that program really is based on politics. It's not based on the real love and genuine care for the people, because if this Labour Party government really cared about the people, Roseau would be better. I mean, when you look at the streets, we just had some kind of enhancement.
And just to stick a pin there, Josh,
Yes.
let me just tell you,
Yes.
certain elderly people that I talked to, they told me, Lofty, do you know I'm of age to get that whatever perk, the 300 or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
And I am not getting it.
For political reasons.
And that is as a result of me they think I'm not in support of the Labour Party.
Yeah.
So you're right on point when you say basically some partisanship
Oh,
that goes
yes.
into
the
stipend that is given to the elderly.
Oh, yes. There's a lot of hypocrisy. I mean, we can talk about that, and we can talk about the way in which this government has dealt even with the building codes. We have construction of building. We have buildings in Roseau going up, free apartments, 4 apartments, however you call them. And this government would not ensure we have things like elevators, because we have the older people. Some of them are struggling to go up a stair, and we make no provisions for them. Older people are struggling to walk around Roseau. You can take your parent who is in a wheelchair to go around town. You can take your parent who's in a wheelchair to go anywhere in Dominica because of the rough terrain. I can understand in the rural places, but we should be able to come to Roseau with our parents in a wheelchair. We cannot do that. We cannot take our children in a wheelchair around Roseau. Why? Because of the bad sidewalks. This government doesn't care. Another thing is that we have no legal provisions to protect our elderly from abuse, especially from persons who abuse them financially. We have to make laws. We have to execute laws to protect the elderly. Earlier on, I mentioned there's hypocrisy as far as our children are concerned. I mean, apart from the basic laws to protect children from sexual molesters and so on and so forth, what is there for our children? Where are the recreational facilities? And going back to this NEP program, yeah, there are a lot of Dominicans who are not getting that $300 purpose allowance simply because the government officials have the perception that they're supporting the opposition. And that is really sad. First of all, $300, what is that, Lofty, in today's world? Now, you know why we have so many people on the purpose allowance? Because at the time when the Prime Minister took over Dominica as the leader of Dominica, all right, that was 25 years ago. There were many Dominicans who were like in the early 50s. There were many Dominicans who were in the late 40s. And for the past 25 years, the past 20 years, they were unemployed or underemployed. And therefore, they made no contribution to Social Security. They're not getting any Social Security benefit because this government did not provide the employment opportunities for them to have worked and to contribute to Social Security, which they will be benefiting from right now. Secondly, even those who were employed, many of them were working poor people. Their salaries or wages were so low, their contribution to Social Security was minimal, and therefore they're not getting anything substantial.
Josh,
hence the list for so many people on the paupers list. And $300 really is nothing.
True. Caller, I apologize. We had the waiting for some time. Are you still there? Caller, good evening.
Yeah, I'm still there. I'm just recalling. I want to say something to Mr. Francis, that the guy who called from Marigot, Ronnie, he was not saying that he wants to tell the government to implement those measures. He was just bringing to the attention of the little time they have remaining, fix certain things so that we need new government to have a conducive entrance towards the administration and to continue the mission. So I believe it's in that context that you were referring to.
Very well.
But as you say, you're not there to educate the government what to do. But I want to just arise to say one thing I did not say, and I want you all to take note of everything. I think you should record everything that people bring forward towards your program whenever you are on the air, like what I told you about all of the reforms that we need in Dominica. And I would like your government, when you come on your program, to tell us about the changes you're going to implement. Discrimination is supposed to be a crime, and a serious crime. Any government, the parliament should not be responsible for identifying the constituents to get any public support. It has to be done by a government institution, and that government institution has to be well equipped with people that are responsible. If they do not do the business the way it's supposed to do, they can be fired and they are held responsible for discrimination. So, because the rights of different political parties is a part of our democracy. So that discrimination, you cannot get a scholarship. The Prior Reb himself is a person. So when all constituents have to go to the Prior Reb home and ask they need that, the Prior Reb is there to identify major projects in her or his constituency, and not to be there to assist the locals. The locals have to go to different ministerial offices and seek for the assistance, and it has to be there for everybody. Now, the $300 they are giving to the people that did not contribute to the Social Security, it is not a part of the law. It's just a government policy that is taken in cabinet. So if the new government comes in and the government which comes in doesn't have the resources to continue that government is automatically going to get unpopular. And these guys may have their other forms of resources to maintain that type of social thing. But
all right, caller, thank you.
When the government comes in, I think all of these things, this is what I want to hear from the program, the reforms and reforms and reforms.
All right, reforms and policies. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed, caller. You're very eloquent caller indeed. Thank you. Thank you indeed based on your comments so far. NEP packet, folks, it is 20 minutes to the hour of 9 o'clock. Josh, we also have to talk about looking forward in terms of the party's mobilization efforts moving forward. You want to talk about that in just a while. But let's take one or two comments from the feed. What is Ned Packet is asking here, what is the party's plan for the new wave of artificial intelligence and the integration of such technologies into our socio-economic models?
Well, earlier when I mentioned about the policy, keep in mind that the party is in a development phase, and the party currently is formulating policies and plans for Dominica. And Mr. Ned Packet, a good writer, a good orator, a great gentleman, one of the young persons who had to leave Dominica, and I'm sure he would love to be here like many other young Dominicans, but because of limited opportunities, he has to be out there with his family. Ned Packet, you're invited to join us and to contribute towards the policy formulation in respect to artificial intelligence. We cannot leave that out. The world is in this dispensation, and any right-thinking government must make provisions, not just in policy papers, but to provide legislation to deal with artificial intelligence.
Sure. All right, Mali Austri, good evening to you. You're only first. Good evening, Madeline Augustine, Brother Ned Packet, we call you already. Joel, Joseph, good evening to you. You're there looking on. Antoine, Wilders, Luis, good evening to you. All of you guys on the live feed tonight. It's 17 minutes to the hour. Josh, you have to commentary some event coming up. Caller, yes, good evening. You're on.
Good evening. I'm calling from Joshua City. Joshua Francis.
Wait.
I have a city.
Wait, Joshua have a city. Caller, does Joshua have a city, and where is that city?
Joshua knows his city. That's his
Josh, where's your city?
Well, you see, I've been gifted with several cities,
all right.
you know.
No, but he knows that he knows that voice, and I'm sure you know who is saying that.
Yes, without any doubt. I know the
And
voice.
that's what I say. Who doesn't want to hear it? I'll say it again. This is Joshua Francis City, and for tonight I'm going to be very brief. Forward we go. Next time I'll speak.
Next time you'll speak.
But for tonight it's just forward we go.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much indeed. Josh, we are quarter to the hour. You know how time flies. Anything else you want to put on the plate for the listeners and viewers tonight? And also an activity plan. You have to speak about this. Let's just facilitate this caller. Caller, you're on. You're next.
Good night. Good night, Mr. Francis. Good night, Lofty.
Hi, good evening.
Good
Hi.
program. I'm listening.
You're listening from where, may we ask?
Yampis.
Yampis. All right. Thank you, Yampis. Thank you for registering your support and your listening here. Josh, yes. Anything else?
Yeah, well, you know, I've been pressing tonight, and I'm inviting Dominicans to join the UPP. And I want to read from the Constitution, Part 1. It says that the party shall be inclusive and shall not discriminate on the basis of class, gender, disability, race, religion, and political affiliation, meaning that labor rights and every other right is welcomed into the family of the United Progressive Party. It's a fresh start. It's a start with renewed energy, and we're going to get this done. We're going to go on the ground. We're going to meet with the people. We have our intellectuals working on policies. We have our technocrats working on visions and plans for the party, and we're going to do this together. Hands in hands, gloves in gloves, we're going to get this done. Togetherness, we're stronger. Togetherness will make us get to the finish line, and we're going to endure till the end. We're not giving up. We're not allowing this government to continue to destroy our people, destroy the psyche of our people, destroy the independence of our people, the confidence of our people. And we want Dominicans to understand that they should fear no more. Fear no more. Fear is not of the Lord. Fear is not of the lioness spirit. It is not part of the lion spirit. Fear no more. Dominicans, stop cowering to this government. Stop folding up. Be bold. Be strengthened. We're going to get this done this time. We're definitely going to get this done. Yes, Lofty.
All right, Josh, indeed, yes, thank you very much. In terms of the activity or activities planned for the United Progressive Party, any on the cards?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this party has taken a decision that it's on a roll. It's not going to stop till election day. We are not going to stop till election day. I want the public to get that. We are not going to stop till election day. We are not going to rest till election day. We are not going to sleep till election day. This party is a party of movement. It's a party of focus. It's a party of seriousness. We do not have time for confusion. We do not have time to deal with hindrances. We have differences in thinking and ideology, but nonetheless, we are mature enough to put our differences aside and to get the work done. We have already started the work on the ground. The reception is very, very positive, and we are now marching on to the Kalinago territory. Our next meeting is on the 3rd of January in Sensi, a massive public meeting. We're going to speak to the Kalinago people. We're going to address the issues which are affecting the Kalinago people. And one of the main issues up there is that this government has caused a lot of Kalinagos to have fear. We heard on many platforms in the last general election where certain members of the Dominican Labour Party were telling the Kalinagos, I will know who you're voting for. We will know who you're voting for. Telling the people that if they did not or would not have voted for the Dominican Labour Party, they would have lost their jobs. Now, of course, you know of the NEP program. We have a number of Kalinagos working under the NEP program, like several other areas in Dominica, and those workers have fear. They are fearfully expressing themselves. A lot of them have lost support and confidence in the Dominican Labour Party. They want to affiliate with an opposition party, but they have fear. They're afraid to be seen speaking to members of the opposition or leaders of the opposition because they feel that if they are seen, or if they if somebody makes a report that they were talking bad or ill of the government, that they would lose that job. So that's an issue we are going to address in the Kalinago territory. We're going to address the environmental disaster this government is commissioning right now in the Dubash area. Of course, eventually we're going to move from Sensi. We're going to march on to Concord and to Atkinson and to Antreason. We're going to cover the entire Kalinago territory to deal with the issues which are affecting the people. The issues of health, education, the economy, the environment, social issues. We're going to address those things, Lofty. So the 3rd of January, look out for it. The 3rd of January.
All right. Caller, yes. Thank you, Josh. Caller, yes. Are you there? Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, Lofty and Josh.
Yes, good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, the audience. Let me say, first of all, I'm happy to see this initiative. I think it's a needed initiative. I heard Josh about night and day all to election day, but we have to think longer than that. I think what tonight represents is a good thing for Dominica. Tonight there is the absence of the venom, the absence of the negative, the absence of the bickering, the absence of the personal attacks and all those things that usually come with launching anything, of that alternative sort. And so I think it's a good step. It's a good step because that's what we had to get out of the way. This fear mongering and this negative whenever something comes on the scene and is about being opposition. That has to end. And that has to end. Nobody has any heritage to opposition in Dominica. Nobody. No goddamn body. You understand? So as we come into this era where we need good citizens to stand up. Good citizens. They need to see new structures with less distractions and all these things. It is necessary that we have alternatives at this point in time politically. For the saving of Dominica, it is necessary. It is necessary. You understand? And so I'm happy that you taking that stand because this is not against all. This is all of us. And it's important that we make it clear. This is not against this. No, this is all of us. But we have to put structures that make it inclusive for everyone. And I'm happy that this is happening and, let's work towards building this thing. But it is not on no negative. It is contributive. It's a movement. It's a national institution we need to challenge this madness in the country. And I just applaud this and I pledge my support, God bless.
All right. God bless indeed. Thank you very much indeed. Let's do this.
Are you ready? Are you ready to talk about how we can help the vulnerable members of society, our children, the elderly, and differently abled? Are you interested in small business, education, job creation, and the environment? then it sounds like you're ready. You're ready for Let's Talk Progress, a new uplifting show on Q95 every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hosted by United Progressive Party. Together for progress.
Today I never give up before. It's not in my blood.
Are you ready? Are you ready to talk about how we can help the vulnerable members of society, our children, the elderly, and differently abled? Are you interested in small business, education, job creation, and the environment? Then it sounds like you're ready. You're ready for Let's Talk Progress, a new uplifting show on Q95 every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hosted by United Progressive Party. Together for progress.
Today I never give up before. It's not in my blood.
Let's take this one from our brother Nasir Fontaine. As we're about to bring this tonight's program to a wrap in just a bit.
Lost in their illusions, were their minds full of confusion.
The working, let me put that adjective there.
Illusion.
The working UPP members, good evening to you.
Lord, trapped in their illusions, were their minds full of confusion. Seeking
And all of those of you who are prepared to do that work or join that work, good evening to you as well.
destruction. Like the wax, that is better before the fall.
Just cooling things down a bit, huh?
Feel like the chaff that is driven by the birds. These are the children who run astray. Lord, Lord, Lord. So they couldn't seem to find their way back home. So they trapped along some, lost in their illusion, where their heads full of confusion, seeking a solution. And they headed to destruction.
Those of you may be tuning in at this time, you're tuning in quite late.
Illusion.
But guess what? Rather late than never.
Their minds full of
We have been talking to Mr. Joshua Francis tonight
seeking a
on this new party, new political party for Dominica called the United Progressive Party,
destruction.
where he laid down some fundamentals thereof. The party's color is orange. The symbol is the bottle. And he said that's a party for the people, by the people, of the people. And there's lots of work to be done. And he's encouraging you to join in that work so that we can help salvage what is left of this country, Dominica.
For their minds shall not hold stand.
Josh, we are on the closing time now. Any final thoughts before we bring it to a wrap?
Yes, well, I just want to repeat that we want Dominicans to come together, to hold hands and to walk the journey. We have done a lot of talking over the last 25 years, but what we did too little of is the work. Work without faith is dead. So in as much as we talk, until we walk the talk, we won't get to the finish line. The United Progressive Party has now provided a platform which is clean, a platform which is focused, no confusion, a platform that is real. It is based on the precepts of caring for each other. It is based on the precepts of love. It is based on biblical principles. And maybe I should read from the Constitution. Again, I'm going back to the Constitution because I want the public to be aware on what principles the party operates. Of course, we have guidelines, we have principles, and I want to read this to the public. It says here, the party's covenant. The party declares before Jehovah God and man that it is subject to the truth, love and diligence in leadership to make lives better for all. So really our objective here is not just to remove a government. Our objective goes beyond mere nominal and artificial politics. Our objective is to make life better for Dominicans. But for us to get to that point, we first have to remove the political cancer which is in Dominica. Cancer is destructive. Cancer leads to death. And if we do not remove the political cancer, the Dominica Labour Party, a party that is parading as a lover of the people, a party that has deceived Dominicans for the last 25 years, a party that has used Dominica's resources to enrich a select few and to make most Dominicans dependent, income poor, to make them underemployed and unemployed. A government that has caused destruction of the environment. It has gone into national parks. It has destroyed forests. It has caused our rivers to be under threat. A government that only thinks of concrete. Any leader who thinks that development is simply putting down a piece of concrete, not thinking of the biodiversity of the land, not thinking of the aquatic environment of the land, not thinking of the watersheds, not thinking of the rivers, not thinking of the mountains, not thinking of the birds, not thinking of the plants, is a leader that has to go. The world has come to realize that it made a mistake. Climate change is one of the biggest issues in the world right now. Everywhere you go, you hear about climate change. It's the new religion of the world. And most metropolitan countries are now reversing. They are trying to go back to the Garden of Eden. They have realized that their progress came at a great price. Their water supply has dropped. They are under threat of water or sea level rises. They're under threat of flooding. They're under threat of more severe hurricanes. So they're going into the green economy. They're going into renewable energy. They're going into facilities to go back into the Garden of Eden. We have the Garden of Eden here in Dominica. Dominica is supposed to be really a biological center. The biodiversity, the purity of our water, the beautiful people, the poisonless animals. And this is what we are losing right now. So I want to urge Dominicans to join forces with United Progressive Party. You can find me on social media, and most importantly, you can find me in person. I am easily accessible. Loftus Dura is easily accessible. There are other leaders who will eventually emerge in the public. They too will be accessible. This is a party of love. The window is open. The doors are open. Please come into the family of United Progressive Party and let us get the job done. Let us do the work. Let us just stop talking. Let us do the canvassing. Let us go out and encourage Dominicans to confirm to vote. And as soon as registration resumes, we're going all over Dominica to ensure that any and everybody who's qualified to vote will reconfirm and will register.
Tell you about the leaders corrupt, all the system designed to keep your life.
Thank you, Brother Joshua Francis. It's on the hour, 9 o'clock. That's how we do it around here. Start and end on time. Those of you know me very well. You know, guys, that I have a clock in my head, huh? I promise you guys this one sometime during the program to end with it. And here's it from the very top. Once that one is done, then we are gone.
Yeah. On vanity. To the youths, to the single mothers, to the fathers that still I try. We salute you. Big up the real hard working people. Hey, some man gets out work with a big paycheck. Look on the poor and show disrespect. Them say you're lazy, that's why you're there so low. But them never walking out the shoes where you know. You rise early morning before the sun. Sweat on your brow till the day is done. Still the bills while high, the struggle stay real. But your heart strong like iron and steel. Hey, big up the struggle and still a fight. help the workers through the darkest night. No care them say you know they're on the top. Hold firm, your blessing can't stop. Salute the mothers, salute the man. Push through the system, do what you can. Them can judge success by the car where you drive through. Greatness is all you survive. Society trick we with vanity game. Tell we success is the money and fame. But enough people rich and them so still broke. While the humble man spread love like smoke. Them never tell you about the leaders corrupt. How the system designed to keep you locked up. It's not cause you're lazy, it's not cause you're slack. It's the chains of Babylon still on your back. I never bow.
So, folks, that is it.
Crown where you wear.
From 7 to 9 tonight, the UPP program.
And the big shot.
Thank you for your eyes and ears each and every time. The very first edition of this new political party on the scene in Dominica.
Hear them say you know they're on the top.
Yes, you and you
Can't stop. Salute
can be part of this new movement.
man. Push through.
And we're calling each and every one of you on board.
Judge success by the car where you drive through. Greatness is all you stop.
So big up to all of you Dominicans here, and over there.
Big up the real ones. The taxi driver, the market vendor. The youth we hustle for the school.
So Dominicans, next Saturday, same time, simply 7 to 9. See you, bye-bye. We love you. From Joshua Francis and myself, and the working members of the party thus far. Do enjoy what is left of the night.
Are you ready? Are you ready to talk about how we can help the vulnerable members of society, our children, the elderly, and differently abled? Are you interested in small business, education, job creation, and the environment? Then it sounds like you're ready. You're ready for Let's Talk Progress, a new uplifting show on Q95 every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Hosted by United Progressive Party. Together for progress.
Today I never give up before. It's not in my blood.
Above all